What did you think I meant? Hello again, Vinyl Community, Matt here, and apologies for the video title, but today I have a bunch of 12-inch singles to show you. These are new arrivals, combination of Discogs, eBay, and thrift stores, and there's a couple of albums in there as well, but it's mostly 12-inch singles, a couple of cassette tapes as well. I have to confess, I kind of stole the title of this video from Graham Watson. He's over at Cracking Vinyl. There's a link to his channel in the description below. He put out a video a couple of weeks ago with a very similar title, and just thought, you know what? By coincidence, I had ordered, and I'll show you the very first 12-inch single that we're going to look at. I had ordered Joy in Pain by Donna Allen. This is from 1989. Actually, it says copyright 88, but I remember it from summer of 89. It's a dance track, essentially, late 80s dance track, and I'm sorry, I just couldn't resist. But you can blame him; he started it. So, okay, so yeah, Donna Allen, Joy in Pain. She's probably best known for her song "Serious," which was released a couple of years earlier, but I always thought this was the better track. I just think it has a better hook. I always preferred it. It's a more cohesive song to me. That was, let me see, that was an eBay purchase. I also got Steel Sealed, Crazy by Alanis Morissette, a cover version of the Seal song. It's actually really good. I've had the MP3 of it before, and I thought it was about time I actually bought the vinyl. It's actually a 2-record set, which is kind of cool. I have no idea which of these, well, I guess the one that says original version is the one that I knew as the single release. So yeah, Alanis Morissette covers Seal. Who'd have thought, huh? Next up, we have an all-time mid-90s dance classic, Scatman John and Scatman. Now, I do have this on CD, but surprisingly, given how many CDs I have that cover the year 1995 when this was released, I only have it on one, and that's a dance compilation. And I just, you know, I've got to get it on vinyl. Got to get it. This is a Discogs purchase, yeah, this is a great track. I used to play this with when I was about 15 or 16 years old. I would open my bedroom window and I would just hang out of it. Well, not literally, but I'd, you know, lean out of it, and I would crank this up, and I don't know, it just took me to another place for some reason. The chorus, the fresh air from the window, and but yeah, it's just a great track. And he died, Scatman John. I mean, he found sort of, let's say, mainstream fame late in life. I think he was maybe in his 50s, and he died. Oh, not that long after this came out. I mean, 5 to 10 years after, maybe. But yeah, great track, great track. Next up, we're going to the very early 90s, and that is the Shaman, Move Any Mountain, Progen 91. The Shaman were one of my favorite dance acts, UK dance acts of the early 90s. And this wasn't their first single release, but it was one of the earliest for sure. And this was kind of when they were starting to become really popular. The Move Any Mountain came out, and Hyperion came out around the same time, 1991, same year for sure. And yeah, this kind of started them on their way for mainstream success. So yeah, this was an eBay purchase. Next up, this was a Discogs by Annie Lennox, Little Bird. If you can make that out or not, just about, yeah. Yeah, this is somewhat surprisingly for Annie Lennox, it's actually kind of it's a dance track. And 1992 is the year it came out. I remember it well. I used to have it on a compilation album, 100% Dance. I don't know if anybody will remember that series, but yeah, I always liked it, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna pick it up on vinyl. So there it is. Next up we have, now this is going back to, well, this is a copyright in 1989. I remember it from 1990, but that is The Adventures of Stevie V, Dirty Cash, Money Talks. This is a great little track. It really is. I don't really know what genre to put it in. I guess it's it has house music elements for sure, but and it has sort of some hip hoppy kind of elements to it, sort of. But yeah, I remember this from 1990. It was on the Now That's Right Cool Music 18 album in the UK. My brother and I used to listen to that all the time, and I always liked it. So this again was a Discogs purchase, and yeah, copyright 89, but that may have been when this was first released, but I remember it from 1990. Next up, we have another actually early 1993, I think. Yeah, 1993, another early-ish 90s dance classic, The Key to the Secret by Urban Cookie Collective. This is one of my all-time favorite 90s dance songs. Just a great track. It really is. Yeah, this would be up there with like Scatman. I don't know. Hadaway, What Is Love? That's another one. That's another one of my favorites back in the day. Just yeah, it's just a great track, and it's got a bunch of different mixes on it. I haven't listened to it yet, so I'm not too sure. It has 6 different mixes on it. I don't know which of these, if any, is going to be closest to the single version that I know of, but it'll be fun finding out for sure. Yeah. Okay, that is, I think, yeah, that's all the 12-inch singles. I do have three albums to show you. This one was a thrift store find. I found this in Goodwill a couple of nights ago, actually. This is Pelican West by Haircut 100. This is a classic new wave, essentially new wave album. 3 hits on it that I know: Favorite Shirts, Boy Meets Girl, Love Plus One, which is probably their most famous song, and Fantastic Day. All 3 of those were hits, and Love Plus One in particular was a big hit. It was I think a top 3 hit in the UK. Really pleased to find this. It was only $1.99, which is a little bit unusual for Goodwills in Southern California. But this particular Goodwill hasn't jacked the prices up yet, not too much. And then at the same Goodwill, at the same time, I was really pleased to find this. It is Killer on the Rampage by Eddie Grant. This is in really nice condition. This has possibly his 2 most famous songs on it, Electric Avenue and I Don't Want to Dance. And I Don't Want to Dance was a UK #1, actually. He did release Give Me Hope, Joanna in '88, which was also pretty big, but yeah, I don't know any of the other songs on the album as far as I'm aware of. So and the 2 that I just mentioned, Electric Avenue and I Don't Want to Dance, are great 80s tracks. I mean, just I don't even know what kind of music you would put it at. It's sort of definitely reggae influence for sure. Yeah, reggae pop. I don't know. I don't really know what genre to call it, but yeah, I'm very excited to listen to the rest of the tracks on this. And then finally, the Vinyl Me Please release for this month is, well, no, it's not. I'm sorry. This is from Vinyl Me Please. This is not the March 2018 release. This was from, I don't know, a year ago maybe, but I wasn't interested in this month's record, so I switched it for Betty Davis, Self-Titled. I haven't listened to this album. Well, I've listened to little bits of it, you know, like on Spotify or something, but I know that it's a funk classic, and I was like, yeah, I gotta get it. I don't know if the original was a gatefold, but this is. And, you know, in the usual Vinyl Me Please fashion, you get some extra stuff. You get artwork like that. Actually, the artwork's pretty cool. You get, let's see, a booklet right here, very nice. Also highlights her other albums on the back, and in fact, which one is it? Nasty Gal. The album right here, Nasty Gal. This is also available on Vinyl Me Please. So if I don't like next month's, maybe that'll be the one I choose. I'm not sure. I'm going to give this a listen. Of course, Betty Davis was her last name, came from the fact that she was married to Miles Davis. But Betty had a very successful career in her own right, particularly in the 70s, and particularly in the early to mid 70s. And really, she's a little bit of a pioneer when it comes to funk music. So I'm really excited to give that a try and give it a spin, and we'll see what it's like. So 2 cassettes as well. These also came from Goodwill, where I got the Eddie Grant and Haircut 100 from. First up we have, see if I can avoid the glare here, Bobby Brown, Dance You Know It. Both of these cassettes are still sealed, which is nice. In fact, they had like, I want to say 10 or a dozen tapes that were all sealed. These were the only 2 that interested me, but yeah, very, I think a little unusual in a thrift store to find sealed tapes, especially sealed pre-recorded ones. So it even has a sticker on the back here. You guys can read it and see what it says if the camera will focus. Well, camera's not going to focus. Well, I'll read it out. This cassette contains special, previously unreleased, re-edited versions of Bobby Brown's hits. So it's got Ronnie, Girl Next Door, Don't Be Cruel, Every Little Step, On Our Own, Baby I Want to Tell You Something, My Prerogative, 17, and Rock With You. Yeah, I thought it was kind of a cool find, actually. And then I also got Heart, Bad Animals. Oh, now the camera wants to focus here. The only, well, let me see. No, that's not true. I was going to say the only song I know on this is Alone. That's not true. I think I know Who Will You Run To as well, but I don't think I know the others. I do have the 7-inch single of Alone, but yeah, these were 99 cents each. So it's like, you know, still sealed. You got to get them, right? I mean, come on. So that's it. That's it, guys. Thanks as always for watching. Hope you enjoyed the old 12-inch sack. And until next time, bye-bye. I can't do it with the throat. Too far.